I kind of agree with this article. I've been saying this for a long time because I do think this is an important topic and I would love to chat about it, gab about it, if you will. Superhero fatigue isn't a real thing. Marvel just makes bad movies now. That is fact. All these people out here saying that superhero movies and superhero genres like played out are full of crap. People still love superhero movies. Something at least I care about because I don't think that superhero fatigue is a real thing. I still think that people love superhero movies. I just think that Marvel makes shitty movies now. Despite the fresh start Superman gave to the James Gunn DCU, Supergirl is currently tanking at the box office, which is with a paltry 38 million domestic opening. Critics and audience alike are rightfully blaming its uneven script, underbaked villain, and utterly perplexing needle drop at the climax. And the utterly perplexing needle drop. So a needle drop, in case anybody's unaware what a needle drop is, it's like when James Gunn plays weird music when people are fighting and stuff. But James Gunn always likes to find like really off the wall songs to use during those moments. Frogan might have a chance of winning or settling, but she didn't even go to court. Well, that sucks for her, Kangaloo. Honestly, it couldn't have happened to a better person. Couldn't have happened to a better. I don't really like that girl at all. At all. I'm not like a uber Ethan Klein fan either. I'm kind of like on my own island over here. But I'll tell you what, I like Ethan better than Frogan. I'll tell you that much. I do like Ethan better than Frogan. And I think Ethan, on the most part, makes a lot of solid points. But all right, back on this. Back on this. Then we might, if you want, we could take a look at the stuff if that's what you guys want to do, or we can watch body cams or play games, whatever you guys want to do, whatever you want to do. Unfortunately, some are also pointing fingers at the amorphous concept of superhero fatigue, the idea that people are simply tired of movies featuring spandex-clad crime fighters. Well, proves that that's bullshit, right? Because Deadpool and Wolverine made like $1 billion, did it not? She seemed to just ignore it and hope it would go away. Yeah, that sounds about right for her. That sounds about right for Fergan. Except there's no such thing as superhero fatigue. The whole idea of superhero fatigue is just an audience-blaming scapegoat used to explain away the poor performance of bad movies. And the post-pandemic history of superhero movies proves it. I enjoyed Superman and loved the Peacemaker show. I was a huge James Gunn fan. I loved a lot of his work. Still love a lot of his work. I don't know if it's him that's doing this stuff with the DC or if it's like the studio stepping in, but if this is James Gunn and him doing this vision, I think it's just stupid. I think he's making bad choice after bad choice. Why in God's green earth would you make Supergirl the second major movie you release in the DCU? It should go Superman, Batman, or Batman, Superman. Those are the two people you start with when you're building a Detective Comics universe. All right? Don't start with Supergirl as number 2. And he's going to say it was like Creature Commandos and all this other stuff. But also noticed, we rewatched Superman. Daughter and my girlfriend, we all sat down and rewatched Superman because she hadn't seen it, so we were showing her it. My daughter loves it. But I asked my girlfriend before the movie started. I was like, I want to know what you think about this movie's pacing. Like, because I feel like this movie is just random as hell. So I asked her to pay attention to that when she watched the movie, and she tended to agree. She was like, I don't think there's like an overarching story. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I felt like too. But Supergirl had a different director, and one of the writers has no film credits to it. Yeah, that's crazy to me. I think that I could step in and write a damn good superhero movie. Like, if they gave me, listen, DC, I'm telling you right now, you want to throw away money, you want to take a gamble, bet it on me. All right, put it on black. Am I wearing black today? Yeah, I am wearing black. All right, yeah, okay, I guess I could have said put it on red. All right, now I'm just confused. Let's go green. All right, since I'm wearing red and black, I don't want to confuse you. Put it on green. All right, put it all on green. I will come through and I will save the DCU. I can make movies better than James Gunn. I can write scripts better than James Gunn. Watch me. Watch me work. All right, guys. Watch me work. Or even Wonder Woman. Well, Wonder Woman. Okay, so this is what Wonder Woman had going for her. All right, Gal Gadot's hot. That's what Wonder Woman. And the story was pretty good. Gal Gadot can't act to save her life, unfortunately. I mean, let's just be factual about that. But I think a big issue that people had with this movie is a lot of people didn't think Millie Alcott was attractive. All right, if you go back to the last stream, we talked about this. A lot of people were comparing her to Chaka from Land of the Lost, and I think that it's a fair assessment. I think it's a fair assessment. It says, except there's no such thing as superhero fatigue. I 100% agree with that. The most basic definition of superhero fatigue is a general sense that after so many superhero movies from 2000 until today, people are just tired of them in general. While there was some rumblings of superhero fatigue before the pandemic, according to Google Trends, a tool which tracks a phrase's popularity in online search, the idea doesn't really take hold until after the pandemic, particularly in 2022. 1984 was all, oh my God, yeah, 1984 was rough. Like, I think there's more of a remake fatigue than anything. We don't need everything remade. That's true too, Sweet. I think you have a good point there, because I think Hollywood's out of ideas. And right now they're getting absolutely crushed by sticking their politics in every single movie, and people are just sick of it. They go to the movies to escape real life. They don't go to the movies to watch politics cram down their throat from Superman's perspective. So that's number one. They all, and I don't think it's going to end, because these directors and these corporate overlords that run these studios, they are doing this to show that they are on their team, right? We're one of you guys, right? We're allies, right? In reality, why they cater to that small 15% of the population that is like super, super like into that shit, they are turning their back on 85% of the population. I had to do math real quick. 85% of the people who don't care about that shit, which is, I think, most of us. I think they went, Superman did good, so why don't we do Supergirl? Instead of thinking, why don't we do a different Justice League member? Green Lantern, which I know they're putting out the Green Lantern show, which first off, I love the guy playing Hal Jordan. Pretty positive they're going to kill him off, because they're going to want the other guy to take over. And also, there's so many things wrong with that show. Like, why are they fighting over the ring? Like, that's not how that works. Like, they don't take the ring off of one Lantern and give, while he's still alive, and give it to another. That Lantern wears that ring till he dies, and then it goes to somebody who's worthy nearby. So why is this guy like following Hal Jordan around saying, give me that ring? Like, what is that even? All right, I have a feeling that show's going to suck. And again, yes, Supergirl, terrible choice for the second movie. Why in God's green earth would you pick her to be your second movie? You got Green Lantern in there. You could do Martian Manhunter. We haven't seen that. You could have done a whole movie on the planet Mars. Like, and that would have been cool to see a whole civilization on Mars or anything. By the way, last night, what's up, E-Ship? Last night, I finished the movie called Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling. Fantastic movie. Highly suggest it. It's a long movie, but I really liked it. So while we do say that Hollywood's out of ideas, I will say there are some really good gems out there. If you guys haven't seen Project Hail Mary, I think it's on Amazon Prime. Fantastic film. Absolutely fantastic film. Go check it out. Ryan Gosling's fantastic in it. It's a long one. It's a long watch, but I do think that movies like that still give me hope that there's people in Hollywood who know what they're doing. I wish we could get a good Batgirl movie or TV show. Well, didn't they make one, right? They made one. And then they just decided to go, you know what? Let's hide this film away. We'll never show anybody it, and then we can use it as a tack break. And yeah, we talked about that too last time. There's another Spider-Man coming out. A lot of people are excited for that. Doomsday, I think the script for Doomsday leaked, and I heard Nerdrotic talking about it today, and I was just like, I don't want to hear the spoilers, but I'm also really curious if this is real. I'm insanely pumped up for Werewolf. What is Werewolf? I haven't heard about Werewolf. 2022, the 5 big superhero movies were Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness. I like that movie. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Wasn't too big on that one. The Batman, great movie. Thor, Love and Thunder. You know, I liked it, I guess. But it was, I mean, I just think Taika Waititi should not be making Marvel movies. There, I said it. Black Adam, which was terrible. Black Adam was pretty trash. 3 of those movies, Multiverse of Madness, Love and Thunder, and Black Adam, received poor to middling reviews, and we widely consider to suffer from superhero fatigue. The Thunderbolts, I thought, was fantastic, by the way. I think the Thunderbolts movie was great. I think that was one of the movies that really Marvel did a good job with. But the problem is, they got John Walker in that movie. I made a video about John Walker. It's my most popular video on my channel, if you guys haven't seen it. But John Walker was like accidentally written to be like a hated character, but everybody loves him because that's the problem, right? Hollywood, the writers wrote this guy as like this hateable character, but he relates to to 65% of people who watch these movies and don't want to see what Hollywood's putting out. Don't care for remade movies. I'll stick with the original ones. I honestly think that you should check out Hail Mary. I think you guys would like that. But I also think that Ryan Gosling is just a fantastic actor. I think he's one of the best to do it, honestly. The answer to superhero fatigue, but Multiverse of Madness made more money than the other four, and struggling critically, it did better than the first Doctor Strange, even if you adjust for inflation. In other words, at least for 2022, the criteria for movies are victims of superhero fatigue, and which ones aren't is seemingly random. If anything, it's more of a reflection of critical response than box office success. But superhero fatigue is supposed to account for general public's tiring of superheroes, not critics. I always say this. I always tell people that Drive is a cinematic masterpiece, but like most people I talk to have never seen it. I've been saying this forever. I wanted to do a video, Kangaloop, on Drive because I just felt like it's so visually stunning. The way that he acts in it is so good. He plays like this guy who's just like super sweet, but he has like such a dark side of his personality. Carey Mulligan is so cute in that film with the pixie cut. Yeah, she's adorable. That also had oh God, why can I not think of it? The guy who played Moon Knight. I just really, if you guys haven't seen Drive, go see it. They should have made a sequel to that one because I think there was a book that was based off a book. Drive was based off a book. But I could talk movies all night, honestly. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. As I was saying, yeah, there's a Spider Noir with Nicolas Cage where he's Spider-Man. Started watching, I started falling asleep, and I didn't want to miss it, so I stopped. But I don't see any comic channels talking about that. So Oscar Isaac, thank you, Kangaloop. Yeah, Oscar Isaac is in Drive. But yeah, Drive, great film. Except for Across the Spider-Verse, we're accused of suffering from superhero fatigue. I think it's just because people want to see Peter Parker Spider-Man. I'm sure there's fans of Miles Morales, but I think that for the most part, people just want to see their Spider-Man they know and love, and that's Peter Parker. This is despite the fact that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 made more money than Across the Spider-Verse. And the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 did pretty much the exact same thing as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Adjusted for inflation, it did a little bit worse, but not so much that it makes sense to accuse it of falling victim to superhero fatigue. The Marvels is a special case, which I'll get back to in a minute, but Quantumania and Lost Kingdom are widely regarded as bad movies, which explains their underperformance. Once again, the label of superhero fatigue is primarily thrown at movies that are bad in an effort to blame the audience for their poor performance, whereas the real culprit is quality of films. As others, including James Gunn, have said before, it's not superhero fatigue, it's bad movie fatigue. And that is, yeah, that's that. The Marvels is a bit different. It wasn't quite as panned by critics as Quantumania and Lost Kingdom, but there were other things going against this movie. For one, while I don't think superhero fatigue is a thing, the culture wars definitely are, and the misogynistic hatred thrown at Brie Larson undeniably affected the size of the audience. Well, to be fair, Brie Larson did come out and shit all over men, right? So of course they're not going to come see her movie. And the only reason I think the first Captain Marvel movie did good in the first place is because it was sandwiched between two biggest Marvel movies of all time, and that's Infinity War and Endgame. The animal stuff with Rocket upset me so bad. Yeah, Guardians 3 was wild. It was wild. It was a wild one. I think Guardians is pretty much dead, though. I think if we ever see Peter Quill again, they're going to kill him off or something. Misogynistic hatred towards Brie Larson undeniably affected the size of the audience. This likely also affected Supergirl. Wrong. To a degree, with the utterly disgusting discourse around Millie Alcott's looks. Well, they had me for a while, but I think now they're just falling into more of the same. It's not Millie Alcott's fault. Listen, if you pick a girl to be... Look, you pick... For Superman, you pick Tall Drink of Water. Oh my God, I can't remember his name because my daughter's obsessed with him. It's not Henry Cavill, although he was a handsome Superman too. The girl that played Supergirl in The Flash was kind of hot. Can't have hot men play superhero men and then have not super hot girls play superheroes. I just feel like, especially Supergirl, like her genetics are like supposed to make guys like go from 6 to midnight. You know what I mean? Like she's supposed to be nice and easy on the eyes. I don't think that Millie Alcott's like she's not ugly. I wouldn't say she's ugly, but I think at the bar, like if we were at the bar, she'd probably, she wouldn't be the belle of the ball. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. She wouldn't be the belle of the ball. There would be someone who would take a shot at her, but I don't think that she would be like, the cat's meow. And that's just me being honest. As a guy who has pretty low standards. No, I'm kidding. As a guy who is a big fan of women, if you're gonna put a girl in a movie, she needs to be a 10. She needs to be. That's just the way things are. There's supposed to be fantasies. Look at Chris Hemsworth as Thor, right? That is eye candy for days for women. So I don't know why they're like bringing up the misogynistic crap that they're talking about here. She's very girl next door, like a regular. Yeah, I would agree, Kangaloop. I think that's a good way to describe her. Very girl next door, but not like in a cute way. Like, I mean, like, in the comics, Supergirl had like, cannons on her. So you need a girl with boobs. If James Gunn had picked the girl who plays Lois Lane in the Superman movie to play Wonder Woman, and then because she has some big old yangs on her, she would have been a great woman. Rachel Brosnahan. Yeah, Rachel Brosnahan would have been a perfect Wonder Woman. But they ended up making her Lois Lane instead. She's one of my celeb crushes too, Rachel Brosnahan. Lore Accurate Thor has a beer belly. Yeah, he's supposed to be like a big, gloating man, not like a supermodel. Besides that, the Marvels suffered because 2 of the 3 leads were from Marvel TV shows, which gave the impression that the movie required homework to understand. The truth is, the Avengers, and first off, I love the homework thing. I love watching characters show up in a movie that, if anybody who didn't watch the show would have no idea what's going on. I love that because I feel like it's made, like it's a payoff to people who watch the TV shows. Like, what's going on. Like, you're in. But now everybody treats this homework thing as like this really bad thing. I think it's kind of genius, honestly, and I wish Marvel would do more of it. But where's Moon Knight season 2? We're not gonna see it, right? Moon Knight hang on, now I just gotta find this out because now I'm really curious. Is Moon Knight gonna have a season 2? There will not be a season 2 of Moon Knight, but the character is expected to return in future MCU projects. Current status of season 2. Marvel Studios has confirmed that Moon Knight season 2 is not happening. Why? The original series, which premiered in Disney Plus, was designed as a 6-episode limited series to introduce the character and establish him within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Where has he been? Where has Moon Knight been? He is a fan favorite character. I thought the show was really good, and I haven't seen him since. I haven't seen a wink. And how old? When did Moon Knight come out? When did Moon Knight TV come out? 2022. The last time we saw Moon Knight was 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Do you see why people aren't exactly excited? Do you think Moon Knight's going to be in Doomsday? No. Do you think that Moon Knight's going to be in Secret Wars? Probably not. I hope he is, but probably not. Hear me out. Hilary Duff would make a good Supergirl. You see her on Sports Illustrated. Like Hilary Duff, Sports Illustrated. I hope this is safe for work. Is this it here? Oh, damn. Check you out, girl. Yeah. I think Hilary Duff would have made a much better Supergirl than, Millie Alcott. I haven't seen it, but like again, that's not her. That's a calendar. Thank you, Kagala, for all your help. She has 4 kids, by the way. Damn, god damn, she looks good. Even Kevin Feige admits to this took the studio's attention away from the movies, leading to the quantity over quality approach, which Marvel Cinematic Universe suddenly. Look, okay, even if you were gonna do quantity over quality, do you guys not have the money to buy the best writers in the game? What is your standard for writers? Because I know tons of writers that would probably put together some of the most amazing movies you've ever seen.
You know I'm trapped, sense of elation. You